share, cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. Like I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time for me to love, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. Like I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money. That's why everybody's going to be wealthy. Like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, do the right thing, make things that God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's involved. You don't like money so much, why don't you get us a little book? Yeah, how you do it about one of the things that you think I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. That's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Cortez.
Good morning, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the working class, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working class men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to be able to come before you guys each and every morning, and I don't take this opportunity lightly. And I thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. I see some of my regulars every morning. You're here, you're interacting, and it makes me feel good. It gives me the motivation to keep getting up every morning, bringing you fresh content. Hopefully it's helping to motivate you. Hopefully it's helping you get some strategies, some principles, some things put in your life. Hopefully you're taking action on some of the things that we're talking about here each and every morning. But again, it is my privilege and my pleasure to be here every morning. If you are on Facebook, do me a huge favor. Share the stream on your timeline. And then also, if I say something that you like, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, because that helps the stream get in front of more and more people. So do me a favor and share that if you will. Do the same thing if you're on YouTube. Grab the link, share it in your favorite social media platform, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you like to share things that you feel are positive and that can help someone else, then share this link with them as well, and I'd appreciate that. As always, just in case you stumbled up on this show on accident, I always like to let you know who this show is for. This show is for my go-getters. If you are ready to get up, get out, and get something like Outkast says, then this show, my friends, is for you. If you understand the power of your actions, you understand the power of your thoughts and your words, and you are trying your damnedest to keep those things positive because you want positive results in your life, then this show, my friend, is for you. If you are the type of person that understands legacy and you're trying to do something each and every day that's going to make your great-great-grandchildren proud to bear your name, this show is for you. If you are the type of person that wants to build wealth, leave a legacy, but maybe you need a strategy, maybe you need a game plan, maybe you need some tips, maybe you need a mentor, maybe you need to immerse yourself into a team of people or the group of people, a community of people that's going to help you do that, then my friend, this show is for you. Now, on the other hand, who is this show not for? If you are one of those kinds of people who are sitting on your can waiting on a handout, this show ain't for you. If you got one of those weird relationships with money where you think capitalism is a dirty word, you think money is evil, this show, my friend, is not for you. If you're waiting on Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton to fix the economy instead of focusing on your economy, this show is not for you. If you can't stand the fact that I mentioned the word money 30 times in the last 10 seconds, this show, my friend, is not for you, because people who listen to this show will ultimately have a revolutionary change in their thought process that will attract money to them. Now, if you think money is evil, why on earth would you ever want to listen to a show that will allow you or cause you to attract something evil to you? So this show, my friend, is not for you. And let's be clear. I don't have a problem with you not wanting to be wealthy. I only have a problem with you having a problem with me wanting to be wealthy. See, I understand that in this world, most people or content with being average or below average. And that's perfectly okay. That's your prerogative. But guess what? It's my prerogative to strive to be a future billionaire. And like I tell you every morning, if you've never seen a future billionaire, take a screenshot, frame it, watch me work, hold me accountable, and see, don't I pull it off? Because that's my belief. That's what my belief is. So if that's not you and you have a problem with anything I just said, then you can tune out and we won't hold anything against you. I promise. I only want people on this show who understands the power of association, and they're trying to be uplifted to a point where they're going to be able to do something different, make some mental shifts, because when you can shift your mindset, you can shift your income. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Appreciate that, Tasha. Yes, future billionaire, man. It is going down. It is going down, people. And I want you guys to understand something. I can't get to become a billionaire unless I help a few hundred people become millionaires. See, I want y'all to get this. And when I say I'm a future billionaire, it's not about me. I can't get to a billion without helping a couple hundred people become millionaires. That's why I pour into you guys each and every morning, right? I'm gonna help a few thousand people become six-figure households. Right? So a couple hundred will become millionaires. A few thousand will become six-figure households. Tens of thousands will get completely out of debt and overcome the challenge of living paycheck to paycheck. See, I can't get to where I want to be without helping a bunch of other people. If you guys remember when I did the 7 Laws of Success by Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, one of those laws is service. You can't get to success without serving other people. Point blank, period. You have to understand the power of serving others. Now, wait, before I get into all of that, let me give you the sponsor for today's show. The sponsor for today's show is Nove Money Credit Restoration Program. If you are in the need of credit restoration, you understand the power of credit. You understand what you can do with credit. Maybe you've always understood, but just didn't know how to fix it after it fell off a little bit. Well, Nove Money does charge you $100 per month for 4 months. But the testimonies that we're getting from them is a 100-point increase in your credit score in the first 30 to 45 days. So you tell me, are they bringing enough value to the table for $100 per month? Now, so that's for 4 months. And then if they can't get you where you want to be in those 4 months, then it's $29 a month going forward for however long you need them. There is no contract. It's just, you just dealing with them as long as you feel you need to deal with them. Maybe that first month gets your credit score where you want it and you don't have to continue. But if you continue through 4 months, it's $400. So that's $100 per month. And they get you on the right track and they claim that credit and get that stuff restored for you. And then all the while they're giving you that restoration, they're giving you the game on how to maintain it. Right? So you never fall back into negative credit again. And then when your credit is right, you can sit down with somebody like me, someone like some people on my team who understand how to leverage that credit. And then we can teach you some things that you can do with that credit, how to leverage personal credit for business credit, right? And then you take that business credit, now you start buying income producing assets using other people's money. See, that's how wealthy people operate. They don't use their money. They use other people's money to buy income producing assets that will bring them more cash. And then they take the cash that they made from those income producing assets to buy their toys with, right? See, working class people and middle class people, they take the money that they make with their labor and then they try to buy their toys with that. That's not how it goes, man. It's not how it goes. You take your money that you earn with your labor, you buy an income producing asset, you take the money from that income producing asset and let that fund or buy your toys, right? That's how this thing works. So if you need credit restoration, shoot me an inbox. I will get you the link to Nove Money so you can check out that program and just see if it's right for you. If it's right for you, they will restore your credit. I will have my own personal testimony probably as early as Monday because I'll be getting registered today to go through that credit restoration program so that I can have the background and all of the intel on how it actually works. So I will use myself as a personal case study, because I don't like to recommend things that I don't fully believe in and have some knowledge of personally, or at least have somebody close to me who's gone through that process. So I'm going through that process myself so I can bring you my case study, and I'll let you see what my credit score is now, because even though I'm the financial health mentor, I've got a lot to learn about building wealth in a lot of different capacities. So yes, I know how to build businesses, I know how to build brands, but one thing that I'm learning more and more about is the power of credit. And like I always say, I subscribe to the learn, do, teach model. So every time I learn something, I do it and I teach it simultaneously, because that helps it get into my spirit, so I can really get it down in me, so I can teach it with conviction, right? So today we're talking about thoughts plus action multiplied by time equals your results. That's the formula that we're talking about today. Now, I would say that that's a success formula, but it depends on the types of thoughts, the types of action, and how long you do those actions, and that's what's going to get you your results. Now, those results could be positive or they could be negative. So this could be a success formula, but it could also very well be a failure formula, right? So thoughts plus actions multiplied by time will equal your results. So the question you have to ask yourself, what is your thought life like? What kind of actions are your thoughts leading you to? How long are you performing those actions? And what are the results that you're getting based on those actions? And if it's not what you want, then there's two things you Facebook is back, but it's still saying my connection is weak, guys. And I don't get it, man. I do this every morning. So, so all right, hopefully we're back, and you know, so we're back to where we're talking. So thoughts plus actions multiplied by times equals your results. But there's a precursor to your thoughts. But let me give this to you real quick and help you understand something. And when I learned this, it blew me away. And I wish I knew where I learned it, because I like to give you guys credit for the things that I learned, so that you can go back and research those people, because I don't want to be your only source, right? I want to give you the source that I'm tapped into, so you can go directly to them, because maybe you have the time to do more study, and that means you can grow faster than me, right? And I don't have a problem with that. So I always try to give you the source, but I'm bad with that, really bad with that. So sometimes I just don't know where I got this from. But basically it says you have to understand that your thoughts, right, leads to the words that come out of your mouth. The words that come out of your mouth leads to the actions that you take. The actions that you take leads to your habits, right? Your habits will determine your character, and your character will determine your destiny, right? So be careful what you think, because your thoughts leads to words. Be careful what you say, because your words lead to action. Be careful of your actions, because your actions become habits. Be careful of your habits, because your habits dictate your character. And be careful about your character, because your character determines your destiny. All right, skipping really bad. My connection is a little weak, Tasha or Tisha. So hopefully we're kind of getting back on track, because it actually cut out and then it came back on. So I think we're okay now. So I'm gonna say that one more time. Be careful of your thoughts, because your thoughts will lead to words. Be mindful of your words, because your words will lead to actions. You got to watch your actions, because your actions become habits. You got to watch your habits, because your habits dictate your character. And you got to watch your character, because your character determines your destiny. And guys, we started it off with thoughts, but the precursor to your thoughts is what? Belief. What you believe tends to determine your thoughts, right? So your belief system determines your thoughts. So if at any point you start to look at your destiny and you're not going where you want to go, then you have to go all the way back to the beginning. Examine your belief system. Examine your belief system. Why do you believe the way that you believe? And then you can examine that, and then that belief system would determine how you think. Those thoughts would determine the words that you say. Those words that you say will determine your actions. Those actions will determine your habits. Those habits will then determine your character, and your character will determine your destiny. But anytime you feel that your destiny isn't taking you to the right place, then you go back to your beliefs and thoughts. Beliefs and thoughts, right? So thoughts plus action multiplied by time equal your results. All that simply means is what you think about the most will determine or cause you to take certain actions. And if you do those certain actions long enough, you're going to get the results based on those actions. So if your thoughts are negative all the damn time, the actions that you take will tend to be more negative than positive. As a result, the results you get are going to be negative. And if you don't like the results, you're simply going to be sure that you go back to your beliefs, the way you believe, because that will dictate your thoughts, how you think. Your thoughts dictate your actions. Your actions will then determine your results. So if you don't like where you're headed right now, then you have to examine your beliefs and then take inventory of your daily thoughts. What are you thinking about moment to moment? Because it's that thought process that you currently have that determines how you behave, the actions that you take. That's why I'm always telling you guys that you got to be an optimistic thinker. Right? Some people, I don't care what you do, can only see the negative in a situation. I don't care what you do. They can only see the negative. And when you can only see the negative, then you tend to attract more and more negative. Right? And it's not that you're attracted more and more negative. That's just the way that you see things. So everything that you see is going to be negative. See, I'm an optimistic thinker. So everything that I see is positive. Everything that I see is positive. Even when it stormed last night, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. It stormed like crazy last night. Do you know what I'm thinking about in the storm? While it's storming like crazy, I myself personally don't want to be out in the storm, but I have a greenhouse. And I'm saying, you know what? I haven't watered my garden in a few minutes. That storm is going to bless my garden. So I'm an optimistic thinker. I just think and see the best, the most positive outcome possible. And guess what? Because I think that way, every outcome is always positive. So if you want to change things in your life, then you change the way you see things in your life. And that by default changes the results that you get in your life. Right? So people ask you, how do you change the world? How do I plan to change the world? I change the world every day. I change the world every day. See, some of y'all won't get this. I change the world every day because I grow every day. So when I grow, I see the world differently every day. So the world may not change for you, every day. But for me, I change the world every day because I see the world differently every day. And because I'm seeing it differently, then I respond to it differently. And when you respond to something or someone differently, they have no choice but to respond to you differently. Right? So if you're dealing with negative people in your life, chances are you're a negative person. But when you flip the script and become positive, then they have to respond to you differently. So therefore, your world has changed because of the way you behave within your world. Now you're getting a different reaction from the world. See, everything that we see outwardly is a representation of what's going on with us internally. So if you see negativity everywhere, you got to do some self-evaluation, some internal evaluation, because chances are you got a lot of negativity going on inside of you. That's what you're projecting out to the world. Therefore, that's what you see. That's what you see. So now you're responding to the world based on how you see the world. And if you see the world as negative, you're going to respond as someone who responds to negativity. Sometimes that response is with violence. Sometimes that response is with an attitude. Sometimes that response is to shut down. However you see the world dictates how you respond to the world. And how you respond to the world dictates the response that you get from the world. And if you want any of that stuff to ever change, it starts with the way you believe. And that's going to dictate your thoughts. Thoughts and actions are synonymous. So how you think determines how you behave. And when you behave differently, you get different results. So if you are not where you want to be in your life, I'm telling you right now, right here, that you have to change the way you think. If you're not where you want to be in your life right now, you have to change the way you think. Right? So the precursor to your beliefs or to your thoughts is your belief system. How strong are you in your belief system? And is that belief system serving you? Because it's causing you to think a certain way. And if you're thinking a certain way, it's causing you to behave a certain way. And as you behave a certain way, you're getting certain results. If you don't like those results, then you have to go back to the genesis, which is your belief system. Right? Some people don't want to hear that their belief system may be all screwed up. But that's the only way to explain why you think the way that you think. And you thinking the way that you think causes you to take the actions or behaviors that you take. And that causes your results. If you don't like those results, in my Kimberly Elise voice from John Q, do something, right? I love that movie. And in particular, that part, because her son was dying. And she looked to her husband, the man, the rock, the foundation of the family, and said, you gotta do something. Now, she wasn't expecting him to take a gun and go hold 20 people hostage in the hospital and force the surgeon to do heart surgery and all that. But what she wanted him to do is take a different action that was going to get them a different result, because he was thinking that, I don't know if you guys saw the movie, but he was thinking that they were defeated and that there was nothing that they could do. But when she gave him that call to action, he saved their son. Right? So if you don't like where your life is headed right now, you, my friend, have to do something. You got to do something. Paul found that. You got to do something, right? Now, I'm not telling you to take a gun and go hold a bunch of people hostage to change your life. But I'll give you a couple things. All right, we talk about this all the time on the show. If you want to change, there are 3 things more than anything else that dictate who you are, right? 3 things. Number 1, the books you read. What are you reading every day? Because books you read, the information you put in here changes your belief system, right? Just 8, 9 years ago, there's no way in hell I believe I'd be a billionaire, right? I wouldn't believe it until I start reading books and biographies and start studying wealthy people, start studying millionaires, decamillionaires, and billionaires. And that changed my belief system because I started to realize the things that they were going through, the path that they took to get where they got. I said, you know what? I can do that. If this is all Will Smith did to get where he got, if this is all Oprah did to get what she got, if this is all Robert Johnson did to get what he got, if this is all the Vic Roberts and the Roberts brothers did to do what they got, if this is all that Bill Gates and Zuckerberg, this is all they did to get what they got, I can do that. So the books I read and the things I start putting in here changed my belief system. And when my belief system changed, my thought process changed. When my thought process changed, my actions changed. When my actions changed, the results I was getting began to change. I began to see and then I began to grow. And every time you grow, you see the entire world differently. So if you're trying to change the world, you change yourself. Therefore, you change the way you see the world. Now the world is different for me every day. The world is different because I'm growing every day. It's a different world. Some things I see today, I couldn't see yesterday because I hadn't grown enough to be able to see them. And now I see them. And that's my goal, to grow every day. Right? Some of you guys are listening to this show right now, and some of the things I'm saying are going over your head, right? Because you're going over your work with me here. Work with me here. It crashed YouTube and Facebook at the same time, right? So hopefully my signal is back strong again. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Signal good? Give me thumbs up if the signal is good. Not coming across choppy because it did just jump back on YouTube as well. Give me thumbs up, Facebook, if we are good. Then I'm gonna give you these 3 points. I'm just gonna go through them really quickly because I don't know what's going on with my signal today. Okay, looks like we're good. So let me go through them. So if you don't like where you are or where you're headed, let's change your belief system. 3 things that will help you change your belief system. Number 1, the books you read. Number 2, the places you go. Get yourself out of your city, get yourself out of your neighborhood, get yourself out of your state. And I'm on the verge of getting myself out of the country for the first time, right? Explore and do things differently, right? See, we have a bunch of neural connectors and things that we had to sever when we were babies because we had so many feeds coming into the brain at the same time. Now, the brain is gorgeous and beautifully and well crafted to receive a bunch of different inputs at the same time and process all of that stuff at the same time. But when we were babies, it was just too much. So we had to cut neural connections. We had to cut them because it was too much new stuff was coming in at all times. So we have to focus on things that will help us grow and develop. Well, what happened is as we continue to grow older, those same neural pathways got cut. And now that we're not getting as many new inputs as we used to, then we stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start dying. So experiencing new things, going to new places, new environments, even where new cultures and things of that nature starts to reopen and repair some of those neural connections, because now you get into a place where you're starting to receive bunches of inputs at the same time. I mean, think about this. Go into a culture where you don't speak their language, and you're trying to pick up all of this stuff at one time. Man, you'll grow so freaking fast, right? You'll grow so freaking fast, and that's what you have to do. If you're not growing, you're dying by default. There's only two states. There's no in between here. You're either growing or you're dying. All right. So number 2 is the places you go. So we're talking about the things. We're talking about thoughts, actions multiplied by time equal your results. We said that thoughts lead to words. Words lead to actions. Actions to your habits. Habits to your character. Character determines your destiny. Right? So that's what we're talking about. But if you don't like where you're destined to be based on where you are in your life, in order to change those things, you have to change the precursor to thoughts, which is beliefs. The precursor to thoughts is your belief system. So you have to change your belief system. How do you change your belief system? 3 things. The books you read is number 1. The places you go is number 2. And the people you associate with is number 3. Most of us aren't growing because we're hanging around a bunch of people who are also not growing, right? They say if you are the smartest person in the room, it's time for you to exit that room. If you're the smartest person in the room, it's time for you to exit that room. So if you understand anything that I'm saying, then you know that your thoughts, be mindful of your thoughts, right? Because your thoughts will turn into words. Those words turn into action. Those actions will determine your habits. Those habits will dictate your character, and your character determines your destiny. And guess what? You have control of it all. If you don't like where you're headed, you don't like where you're destined to be, then you change the precursor to your thoughts, which is your belief system. I'm telling you, 10 years ago, I wouldn't be on here telling you that I'm a future billionaire, because I couldn't believe that big until I changed what I was putting into my head by the books that I was reading, put into my head by the places that I was going, put in my head by changing my association. Who are you hanging with day to day, right? Now, I'm going to tell you this. When it comes to changing your association, this is the most difficult thing of them all, because a lot of times some of the people that you have to get away from around those people, some of those people, sometimes it's the very person that you lay next to every night. Right? And I know that's heavy. And I'm not saying that you go divorce your spouse. I'm saying that sometimes when you're in growth mode, when you're in evolution mode, sometimes you might have to go and evolve on your own, or if sometimes you're trying to bring that person with us, and evolution is a one-man job. Each person has to evolve on their own at their own time. So sometimes a spouse can hold you back from your evolution, and it may be in the Creator's plan that you evolve first, and the witness of your evolution may cause that person to evolve. But sometimes we don't evolve because we're trying to make this person evolve at the same pace and at the same time and on the same level that we're evolving. Now, if it's part of the divine plan that you evolve first, they see your evolution and then they blossom, but you don't evolve because you're trying to pull them and drag them along, then neither one of you ever evolve. So you have to be willing to redraw your circle and go ahead and just keep doing that internal inventory and growing and increasing your belief, changing your thought process, changing your actions, and just keep evolving, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, is there a potential that a couple can grow apart? Certainly there is. but hopefully that evolution will cause that person to elevate themselves as well. All right. Sometimes that very person that you need to get away from around is the person that brought you into this world. I know people who got parents are so pessimistic, I can't be around them. And I'm like, man, I know this your mom, dude, but you, my friend, may have to call her on the phone, because every time you're around, she's talking about you ain't nothing, you ain't never gonna be nothing, you're gonna be just like your daddy. And man, even for an adult, you don't want to be around that and constantly hearing that. You bring up an idea or something that you're trying to pursue and they shoot it down immediately. That will not help you evolve and grow. Right? Some of the people that you need to separate yourself from are good friends that you've been running with for 15, 20, 30 years. Some of those people are people who've helped you through a tough time. That's what makes it difficult for you to evolve and leave them behind, because you feel like you owe them based on how they helped you through some tough times. I got some buddies who helped me through some rough patches, man. I wanted to repay them by helping them to evolve to where I am. But if they don't want that, then I can't force that on them. So I had to learn to just keep doing my thing. Now a couple of them have said, you know what? I'm ready to change. I'm ready to get out of this situation I am. Will you help me? Well, guess what? Now that I'm up here because I evolved, now there's no problem for me to reach down and help pull them up, right? But if both of us are laying flat on our backs, how am I going to help them up? Somebody has to go ahead and grow and evolve, right? So the people you associate with is key to your belief system, because you tend to believe the same way as the people that you spend most of your time with. And if those people have jacked up beliefs, chances are you got jacked up beliefs. If those people don't believe that they can ascend and do great things, chances are you believe that you can't descend and do great things. But I'll tell you this, get around some winners. Get around some winners, and you will have no choice but to become a winner. I promise you that. Get around some winners, and you will have no choice but to become a winner if you keep hanging around them. Because you know what? Winners talk differently. Winners expect differently. Winners hold you to a higher standard. Winners will uplift, mold, and encourage, right? Winners will push you. Winners will pull you. Winners will guide you. Because we've all been in a place where someone had to do that for us. So when we see somebody who's got a winner in them, even though they're not winning yet, then we want to help you develop and cultivate and bring that winner out of you. So you got two choices when you get around some winners. Either you become a winner or you stop coming around. Because I'll tell you this about a group of winners. They're not going to let you bring any negative energy in their circle. I can promise you that. The two things I can promise you. If you get around them and you stay around them long enough and you truly want to change, you will become a winner. If you get around them and you constantly bring a negative energy, they're going to kick you out the circle. I can promise you two things, right? Because I'm not letting anybody come around me and mine with negative energy, negative vibes. Because I know how that can cause a one to devolve instead of evolve. Right? So that's what this thing is all about. So thoughts plus actions multiplied by time equals your results. If you have the right thoughts, they're going to lead you to the right actions. And if you do those right actions long enough, you're going to get the right results. But on the other hand, if you have the wrong thoughts, they will lead you to the wrong actions. And if you continue to do the wrong actions, you're going to get the wrong results every time. Right? And you have nobody to blame for the results that you're getting but you. So that's what I wanted you to do, is understand that now that you understand how to fix the thought process, then I want you to get some better books in your life, get some different books in your life. See, there's no such thing, if you're an adult, there's really no such thing as a random thought, right? There is no such thing as a random thought, right? You got so much input that have come into your sensors through the years that these thoughts aren't really random. They're pre-programmed based on the information that you're putting into your hard drive. So ask yourself, what are you putting into your hard drive? Is it Real Housewives of Hollywood? Is it Hip Hop Atlanta, or is it Scandal? Is it Empire? Is it Power? Is it The Coldest Night Ever? Is it, what are you putting in to give your subconscious to draw from, to create thoughts in your brain? So those thoughts will lead you to action. So those actions can get you the results that you want, to cause you to evolve. And you go from glory to glory until you get to what you want out of this life. Ask yourself, what is the majority of the content that you are allowing to enter through your eye gate, your ear gate, your nose gate, all of these different ways that we receive these inputs? What is that? What is the bulk of the material that you are allowing to take up space on your hard drive? Got to ask yourself that. You got to do an internal inventory, right? Now, I over the last few years or so, I've got my television watching down to about 3 hours a week, right? Because we don't even have a TV in the living room. We do have a TV in the bedroom. And by the time I turn in from putting in all the work in my business, I go in the back, and my wife's got some shows that she likes to record, and she'll cue one up, and I got a good 15 or 20 minutes in me before I'm out. And that's all the TV that I watch. I'm a youth basketball coach, and I haven't watched a full NBA game, a full college basketball game in probably 6 years. And the reason being is because when all of that stuff goes into your head, those are the thoughts that you pop up with in your head, right? You get around the water cooler, and what's popping up in your head? Oh man, did you see the game last night? Did you see the Rams? Man, the Rams are leaving St. Louis. What do you think about that? No, man, phooey with all that stuff, man. That stuff is not helping me build my empire. It's not helping me. You know what I'm saying? So ask yourself, do an inventory of the data that is going into your brain and taking up space on your hard drive. The reason that's important is because your subconscious can only draw from those things. And it's your subconscious that are drawing from those things to bring things into your consciousness. So if all it can draw from is negativity, all it can draw from is fantasy world, all it can draw from is, stuff that won't help you, then you tend to create a bunch of crap in your life. But you start feeding your subconscious with words of wisdom. You start feeding your subconscious with powerful thoughts. You start feeding your subconscious with wealth building principles on relationships, so you can build strong relationships with your spouse and your family. You start feeding your subconscious with things that are going to dictate and cultivate your belief system, so that you start believing in yourself and the power that you have within you. You start feeding yourself. All of this stuff goes into your subconscious. So now your subconscious have powerful thoughts that you can draw from. Powerful thoughts that it can bring forth to your consciousness. Now you can take that from your consciousness and allow it to manifest into your real world. But if you don't like where you're going, it's based on your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, and the results. If you don't like that, in order to change your thought process, you have to examine your belief system. See, my belief system says I can do all things. That's my belief system. My belief system says greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. That's my belief system. So when I examine my belief system and the thought came to me about being a billionaire for the very first time, it scared me to death, because I was afraid to even allow myself to believe that. And then I had to go and examine my belief system. What if my belief system says I can do all things? So a billionaire, that's a walk in the park. But if your belief system ain't right, that's where your thought process comes from. Your thought process is going to lead to your Words, words to actions, actions to habits, habits to character, character to your destiny. Got to examine your belief system, man. What does your belief system say who you are? What does your belief system say what you can do? What does the belief system say what you can have? My belief system says I'm the king under the Most High King. I'm a God under the Most High God. That's my belief system. It don't have to be your belief system. What is your belief system? And I tell my children all the time, everything the sun touches belongs to us. See, that's a belief system. That's a belief system. What is your belief system saying about you, who you are, what you can do, what you can have? He took little Simba and set him up on a rock, and he said, everything the sun touches belongs to you. Right? Tiffany dropping the scriptures on us. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is excellent, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. If you don't have a positive outlook on life, whatever the outlook that you have is what you attract, because it's not that you're bringing that stuff into your life. Me and you can sit down side by side and look at the exact same thing and see two different things, because I see only the good in everything. Somebody else sees only the bad. Somebody else sees the storm and the hurricane and say, man, that hurricane is tearing up some stuff. I see the hurricane blowing the trees over like this, and I say, man, I can bet the roots of that tree is really growing right now, because they got to hold on as the winds are blowing them over. So I just see things differently. You got to see things differently. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. How are you thinking in your heart this morning? So I tell my kids all the time, you know, a lot of people don't like when we talk about being a God, but that's what my belief system says, that we are all gods under the Most High God. So as a God, that means I have the ability to create my own world, because that's what the Most High God did. He created a world, and he takes full responsibility for that world that he created. So I believe that I'm a God under the Most High God. That means I can create my own world, and in my own world, I'm a billionaire. All right, guys. All right. I know you guys are tired of hearing that. But in my own world, I'm a billionaire, and I'm responsible for everything in my world. So when I see everything that the sun touches, and I say that it belongs to me because I'm a God under the Most High God. I'm a king's kid. My king is a creator, so I'm a creator. And that's what I do. So I'm creating my own world. I'm taking full responsibility for the world that I create. Everything that the sun touches belongs to me. You're right, Shanitha. Everything that the sun touches belongs to me. And if that's your belief system and somebody tell you you can't do something, I'm going to tell you, exit stage left. Get out of my life, because I don't need anybody telling me what I can and can't do. If you're not going to support me or help me in the achievement of the goals and dreams and accomplishments that I want to accomplish in my life, then I have no time for you. You bring a negative energy to my circle, I have no time for you. Point blank, period. If you a woe is me type of person, I have no time for you. You know why? Because I'm a God creating my own world. And in my world, no negative people exist. In my world, no negative people exist. So as I'm creating this world and you happen to be one of those negative people, boop, bye, Felicia. I'm not trying to let you mess up. Since I have full responsibility for my world, if I let you come in and bring negative energy to my world and you start bringing me down, I have to take responsibility for that. Because if you bring me down, that affects my legacy, that affects my children, that affects my ability to produce and care and protect them. So I can't be around certain stuff, certain people. All right. 3 things that help you change your belief system: the books you read, places you go, people you associate with. So guys, I'm running out of time. I didn't bring my charger in here for the laptop, but hopefully you got something out of this stuff. Hopefully you're going to apply this stuff. Again, the sponsor for today's show is Nove Money. If you need credit restoration, this is a great program because they charge $99 per month. So it's a low place of entry to go ahead and get your credit restored. They're going to put you into a platform, and I will have my full testimony for you guys Monday, because I'm going to go ahead and get registered today. And just remember, tomorrow is question and answer. So bring your questions to the table for tomorrow. If you have a business, then give me your business name and your question. I want to give you a business shout out as we're doing these shows. I'm trying to help you guys grow your businesses as well. So definitely come with your questions and answers for Free Game Friday as we do our recap and do live Q&A. So if you need help with the credit restoration piece, let me know and I will get you the link to do that. Just send me an inbox or you can text me. If you're looking for my financial success membership, we teach you how to minimize taxes, eliminate debt, all of that good stuff. We teach you how to build wealth starting with the money that you currently have. Then you can go to myfamilyempire.com.